Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. So listen responsibly.
Louisville's own DJ Ice. DJ Ice.
You are listening to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Price.
It's the best of the best. It's the one and only DJ Ice, Louisville's coldest DJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. So listen responsibly. The moment you've been waiting for. So listen responsibly.
Okay, can y'all hear me now? Okay. Testing. Okay. So hopefully y'all can hear me now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm Carl Price. I'm your host here on Conscious Fever, Ice Entertainment Television, Conscious Fever Radio. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about the NFL. As you see the title, NFL playoffs. Will Lamar ever? Biden, Harris, and a new fan. I want to make sure that we are, well, I guess we are on everything. Anyway, I want to talk about the fact that we have a new president. We have a new president here in Louisville, Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, and all over the United States. And his name is Joseph Robinette Biden, I think is what his name was. What they said his name was. But anyway, now he says he can't hear you. Still can't hear me. Can you hear now? Can you hear me now, Greg? Okay, yeah. Greg Friedman's going to be one of our guests tonight. We're going to talk about sports tonight. We're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk about the NFL playoffs, and we're just going to play some clips and let y'all know. And y'all going to be able to tell us, what's what in reference to, Lamar. I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, but I'm not sure if he's ready for prime time if prime time is the playoffs and the Super Bowl. But we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to talk about Trump real quick. Probably the last time that I would ever talk about Trump. So, yeah, somebody's happy about that. But listen, Trump on his way out, and you all are going to see this, camera number 8. So let's talk about Donald Trump just for a second. Let's just talk about him just for a second. Trump's final act of extraordinary corruption. This is, and an article from the New Republic that was from Matt Ford. So it says, if you are a fan, this is Matt Ford's article from the New Republic. If you are a fan of white-collar criminals, Trump's final pardons, his final act, were like the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. The marquee recipient was Steve Bannon, the former White House chief strategist who urged Trump to take steps toward a coup over the last few months. Why did Bannon need a pardon at all? Ask yourself that, because he was arrested last August for his role in a scheme to defraud Trump's own supporters by soliciting private donations to build Trump's wall on the southern border. Trump did not bother trying to rationalize the decision. He didn't even pardon the other people indicted in the scheme. He reportedly just thought Bannon might be useful to him in the future, and so he goes free. Other pardon recipients include well-connected Republican lawmakers. Duke Cunningham kept a bribe menu, y'all remember that documented how much he would receive in exchange for official favors, starting with $140,000 and a yacht for a $16 million defense contract, with an additional $50,000 bribe required for every additional $1 million on the contract. Rick Renzi extorted a mining company by threatening to block a federal land deal unless it brought land from one of Renzi's business associates to whom he was indebted. They joined 3 other former GOP members of Congress who were convicted of federal corruption offenses, only to be pardoned by Donald Trump a few years later. Other wealthy and well-connected people received pardons and commutations, as well as Elliot Brody, a former Republican National Committee financier. He had his conviction for acting as an unregistered foreign agent wiped away. Solomon Melgen, a Democratic donor in Florida, convicted of health care fraud, who played a key role in the Bob Menendez corruption scandal, also received a pardon from the then President Trump. Trump handed out acts of clemency to some well-deserving recipients, including criminal justice reform advocates and a few first-time drug offenders. Not to keep out Lil Wayne, right? Hold on, before I go any further, I'm going to do something here because I need to make sure I've got an empty room, man. I don't understand this. And maybe that's coming from Restream. Anyway, but the overreaching scheme of his acts of clemency was that of the rich and the powerful, play by a different set of rules than the rest of us. Despite Trump's final batch also showed some restraint. He previously asserted that he had the absolute right to pardon himself from any federal crimes and reportedly considered it as the days and weeks ticked down towards his departure. But no such self-pardon appeared in the final list. Trump may have been deterred by warnings that it would hurt him in the upcoming Senate impeachment trial. Some advisors warned that it would increase the odds that the Biden Justice Department would file some sort of charges against him, if only to knock down the awful precedent that a presidential self-pardon was set. Trump also decided against preemptive pardons for top allies. He left Rudy Giuliani out in the cold and various White House aides, nor did he hand them out to his oldest sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, who had led the family business for the past 4 years while it was under investigation by New York prosecutors. He did not give them to GOP lawmakers who reportedly sought them for their role, get this, in the Capitol Hill riot. And he declined to issue a mass amnesty to the Capitol Hill rioters who tried to stage a putsch on his behalf earlier this month. Multiple participants in those riots had publicly begged him for help, to no avail. So his last act of corruption, Donald Trump. But listen, we've got some things that we're going to celebrate tonight. First, I want y'all to remember. Camera 3. I want y'all to remember the South Preston Street podcast. Remember the South Preston Street podcast? That is a podcast that we do here on South Preston Street in Louisville, Kentucky. And we've got like 22 more segments coming up in the second episode. You don't want to miss it. Well, we just sit around in a warehouse and we just talk conscious. Number 4. So, I want to Also, ask y'all to remember, camera 6, Facebook. Remember to check us out on the Facebook Conscious Fever page as well as my personal page. You can also check us out on YouTube, and you can also check us out on Twitter, and of course Twitch and Mixcloud and Spotify, etc., etc., etc. So keep all that in mind. But in any case, so I want to talk about. I want to do something else here. I want to show y'all this clip real quick. This is my man, and I have to show this because this is really, really good stuff. This is my man, Joe Biden, taking his oath. Camera number 7. Check this out. Go to 8. Go to 9.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States,
and will, to the best of my ability,
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
All right, my man Joe. He is the president. So all you QAnon supporters and all you QAnon folks, he is our real president. But it got even better. It got even better when Kamala Harris took her oath. HBCU, aka
What you are all about to be part of, America, is a historic moment of firsts. To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first woman vice president, Kamala Harris, it is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
all right. First black female, first South Asian, and the first woman to have that authoritative position in the White House. So, of course, here from Conscious Fever, we say congratulations to Kamala Harris. But that was not the best of the inauguration ceremony. It was, we've got something that was better than Joe Biden taking the oath and being the new president and changing our past. We've got something better than Kamala Harris, our HBCU and Divine Nine member, taking the oath and changing the past and saying goodbye to the past. And even better than seeing Donald Trump leave the White House. It's a young lady. Her name is Amanda Gorman. And I hope I'm not boring you all with this, but this was so good. I just had to play it and make sure that we watch it again. I want y'all to listen to this poet. This young lady, 22 years old, Harvard grad, and she blew it away at the inauguration. Check her out.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just is isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the wind-swept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Wow, right? That was awesome. I thought that thank you. I thought that was the most beautiful thing that I saw while watching the inauguration. I know a lot of people didn't watch it because they didn't want to watch it. I got to come over because I want y'all to see my traffic out here. So anyway, Carl Price, Conscious Fever. Let's talk sports. Again, congratulations to Joe Biden. Congratulations to Kamala Harris. And congratulations to Donald Trump for leaving the White House. I'm sure that's probably going to garner some comments. President of the United States Corporation United, the unlawful corporate fiction, or President of the unlawful republic. You see that comment? What, Dr. Pruitt, what are you talking about? Anyway, Doctor, I got some friends that I'm going to probably join in here. Track camera too. So here we go, y'all. Let's talk, and then this says solo or whatever. I'm gonna bring some of my people in. Hey, John Graves, how you doing? And then put me on there also. Nope, click me off. Hold on. We're gonna get this together, y'all. Just bear with us. They put me in the basement. Sometimes you just got to go nowhere. Okay, now I'm back in the studio. Okay, so listen. Hey guys, welcome. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, appreciate you having me, Price.
Greg Freeman from Knoxville, Tennessee. John Graves, the boy, hit that boy from New York City down there for me, Mr. Producer. The boy from New York City. Do you? Welcome to the Conscious Fever Show. Listen, again. Okay, I'm Carl Price, your host. Listen, guys, we are going to talk sports. Let's talk sports. So, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Mr. Did I peep that? Did I peep what? She's beautiful in her China color. Yep, I peeped her China colors and Masonic symbolism. Oh, okay. So they're talking. We're gonna let them talk, y'all. Listen, let's talk football. So John Graves, first of all, let me just say this. First of all, man, I went back, of course, and I looked at our picks last week. Did you do that? Are you on mute, John? Are we on mute?
Can you hear me, Price?
Yes, I can hear you, Greg. John, we cannot hear you. even have him in the interview, do we? Yeah, right there. Okay, John. Well, we're gonna work on your sound. But Greg,
Yeah.
you didn't go back and listen to our picks, did you? By any chance?
No, sir. I did not.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, John. Work on your sound. I'm not sure if it's on this end or that or your end. But it looks like we've got the sound here, so it might be on your end, buddy. But I heard you when you came in at first. Okay. Let's see. See if you can send him back to the green room, then bring him back in. Okay, John, we're gonna work with it. But anyway, Greg, I picked the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, unfortunately, did not win. Was that your pick, by the way?
Yeah, I was for the Ravens. I kind of like the homeboy, Jackson, Lamar Jackson.
Okay. All right, John, it looks like we snapped you from the green room, so hit that link and come back in. But anyway, so Greg, here's the question, man. Here's the question. I don't know if we can display the question there at the bottom, but here's the question. The question is Lamar really ready for prime time? Let me just tell you before you answer, I actually saw what's his name? The guy from Alabama, man, used to play for the Broncos. Black guy, real dark skin. He does that ESPN show. You know who I'm talking about, Greg?
From Alabama?
Shannon Sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon Sharp. He basically mauled Lamar and just said Lamar's not ready for prime time. Your thoughts?
I disagree with that. I mean, he didn't have his best game, but Price, the guy was the MVP of the league last year. I mean, people down him on his accuracy, but if you look down in his numbers, hey, he's up there with the best of them. So
yeah, I think he is. I think he is too. But you know, first time it was he couldn't win a playoff game. Then he wins a playoff game, so he can't win 2 playoff games. I don't know. Are we being too hard on Lamar? Do we have John back yet? John, we still can't hear you. I don't know what. Yeah, we've got. Yeah, John is very, very low. I don't know what's going on. We've got. Huh? Okay. No, don't keep switching all of those. Just take us back to 3. Okay, so Greg, so I don't know what the story is on Lamar. I mean, we're gonna try to get John in here, but I don't know what the story is on Lamar. But I'm prepared to question whether he is ready for prime time.
Based on
the fact that, and I know he left the game with a concussion, but based on the fact that, he threw an interception one.
Well, yeah, he did, and listen, he's not as good now as he's gonna be with more experience. But the guy was the MVP of the league last year. The guy's on what is it, Madden, and he played some Madden last year. I think he'll be fine.
You think he'll be fine? I mean, but every year we have to wait until the next year to see if he's going to be fine.
How many years has Lamar been in the league?
I think he's been there 3 years. He's going into his 4th year because there was another quarterback at Baltimore, and then Lamar got booted up.
Still can't hear me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can hear you, but you're very low, John. Anyway, but join this discussion now that we can hear you.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to turn what I have up here too. Go ahead, John.
I don't think Lamar's ready for prime time.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I agree, man. Greg seems to take a different position.
Well, you think of this, Bryce. If this is this guy's 3rd year in the league, how many quarterbacks actually made it to the Super Bowl in the 3rd year in the league? Not many. Well, he has time.
Yeah, but I mean, are we being too anxious?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, when I say he's not ready for prime time, I mean he's got to mature.
Don't worry
I'm
about
not
it. I'm gonna
saying
give you
he
something on the
won't be,
iPad.
but I think that in time he'll get there. But he's not ready now. He's good, but he's not ready now.
Yeah.
He needs experience. He needs experience, Price. But just remember this: the guy was the MVP of the league, his second or third year in the league. A lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, here's a question for Lamar. Can Lamar really step up at the right time? It's okay to be energetic during the season. It's okay to win games. It's okay to run for, 3,000 yards in the game, which he hasn't. I'm exaggerating. But at the end of the day, you got to have the quality of an Aaron Rodgers, I always do this on the air. I forget the names of the quarterback. Seattle's quarterback.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Tom Brady. Drew Brees.
Russell Wilson's grandfather went to Kentucky State University.
I know he did. I'm glad you. I'm actually glad you said that. His grandfather was a captain. His grandfather did attend Kentucky State University. Then he went on to teach at Norfolk. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with his skill? Don't go on
No history track.
He had green and gold blood, man. That's what we're talking about, John. Now this is A and B conversation. You need to see your way out of this one, bro.
That's why you can't hear me, because you got me down low.
No.
My mic is down because of this.
No. Let me change the subject real quick. Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Tom Brady got the best of that match, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How far is Tom Brady going to go in this charade this year?
You're asking me?
I'm asking both of y'all.
Go ahead. You can go first.
Well, a lot will depend on the weather. Brady is the best to ever play the game, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion. And he's used to playing in the cold because he played in New England. And going to Green Bay is not going to be like playing in Tampa. But I do believe that if the defense plays well, I think he can get past Aaron Rodgers. He's 3-1 versus Aaron Rodgers in their career.
Oh, he's 3-1 against Aaron Rodgers?
That is correct.
But that was a different period, wasn't it, John? I mean,
Brady's still Brady.
I know. Well, Brady's not the Brady that was at the Patriots, because Brady had a lot of arsenal around him. You agree, Greg?
That's true.
Hit a lot of arsenal, and I don't think he has that arsenal down at Tampa Bay. I mean, he's got Antonio Brown, and I said last week. Remember, I said last week that him and Antonio Brown could be a threat, and I thought that they would be that against New Orleans. However, now they're playing Green Bay.
I don't know if Tampa Bay is going to win. I do agree with the thing with Pamela. He is the greatest of all time. Think about him being 40 and leading that Tampa Bay team at point he's led. That's amazing.
Yeah. John, so I'm trying to figure out, before we give our picks, do you think Brady can pull it out this year?
Yes, I do. I think he can get by Green Bay.
Oh, interesting. And why do you say that?
Well, he now has a better core of receivers than he had last year and the year before in New England. Now,
That's true.
Gronk is there, but he's not the same Gronk. The tight end that he's using, I think his name is Bates, is as good as a tight end that he needs right now. Their running game was explosive last week and did what it had to do. And I think if there's a good balance, and Brady's one of the best generals on the field that you've seen, he can beat Rodgers. Now, I say all this to say that people doubted Brady because he was in Tampa and he left Bill Belichick. But let me ask you this. Who's in the playoffs and who's at home watching?
Right.
Well, I mean, but is that really a measure of the skill set, or did you just peak at the right time and you just play the right team at the right time?
Well, let's look at it this way. Number one, he's on a new team, right? Number two, they had no training camp because of COVID. So the first 3, 4, 5 games were used to get to know his new teammates, get used to the system. And once that happened, they performed. Now you got a very comfortable Brady. He knows his guys. He knows what they're going to do. They know what he's going to do. I give him a chance.
Oh, okay. You're going to give him the chance, huh?
I'm going to give him a chance.
Okay. I'm not sure of the status of Mahomes. Do we know the status of Mahomes for the game this weekend?
He practiced today.
But he's
okay.
still in the protocol for concussion. He's still not cleared to play. And honestly, I hope they don't let that kid play because it's a big game. I know it's a lot of money, a lot of audience, but a concussion is nothing to play with. And if you want this kid to have a nice long career, let him sit out. The concussion is nothing to play with. Look at
it's a speak up, yeah.
Look at the quarterback, Troy Aikman, who had several concussions, and in the last Super Bowl he played, I think it was against the Bills. He didn't even remember that he played the second half because of the concussion. And the CTE that we know that is real. You got to be careful with the head, and Mahomes is young, and if you want him to continue on, let him sit this out.
Okay. I don't think Kansas City fans would want to hear that.
No.
What do you think, Greg?
Exactly.
I agree. I don't think he should play. He's got a Super Bowl ring. His advisors, if they were smart, they would tell him not to play. But, stranger things have happened.
What'd you say, Greg?
I said stranger things have happened, but if he doesn't play, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, I don't think they have a chance either, John. I mean, what do you think? You think they have a chance if he plays, John?
If he doesn't play, no, I don't think Henning can get him there. I think Buffalo will beat them. In fact, Buffalo may beat them even if Mahomes plays. Let's not sleep on Buffalo.
Yeah, I did that last week, right? I slept on Buffalo. Well, I really didn't sleep on Buffalo. I was going to go with Lamar and the Ravens. It didn't matter who they were playing, quite candidly. But I don't know. I think I agree with Greg. I don't think the Kansas City has a chance if Mahomes doesn't play.
I'm agreeing with you guys. I'm not disagreeing. I don't think Henning can bring him home. I don't believe that he's got the same thing that Mahomes has.
It's Mahomes' mobility. His mobility is mobility.
It's not just his mobility, it's his ability to be creative once he gets out the pocket and keep a play alive. And that's the danger. He has that ability, so does Russell Wilson. That's dangerous, along with Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. These guys, once they get out the pocket, anything could happen. Aaron Rodgers has that ability too.
You said Aaron Rodgers has that ability too?
Yes, he does.
He's
not a scrambler, but he can keep a play alive till somebody gets clear, and he can hit him.
Yeah, all those guys have that car price speed back in the day.
Wait a minute, what'd you say, Greg? There you go.
I said those guys have that car price speed back in the day.
I'm not going to even touch that. The Chiefs have too many weapons with Mahomes, and Andy Reid is an offense. What does that say? Offensive wizard.
Well, I don't discount that, but here's the thing. The past 5 or 6 games, Kansas City has barely won. Now, you'll say a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you win. But a good team can capitalize on mistakes. And Buffalo's a very good team. And I would not be surprised if Buffalo beat them. Now, it'll be close. 27-24 maybe? 30-24?
Oh, you're going to go so far as to put some numbers on it. Right, John?
Well, you know. You can pick, but, you got to back it up a little something. So, I'm not saying they will win, but if they do win, I think the score is going to be close like that.
Aaron Rodgers, highest passer ratings. Single season NFL history. Aaron Rodgers, 2011, 122.5. 2020, 121.5. Peyton Manning, second one, 121.1 in 2006.
Their numbers, what? What about them?
It's the numbers that got Lamar the MVP. It's numbers that's going to get Rodgers the MVP. Right?
You know what numbers are, Carl? You know what numbers are?
No, tell me what numbers are.
Numbers are the result of somebody's friend or relative that needed a job and came up with these analytics to put out there to make you think that this person is better than that. The only way you prove that is on the field. And your ability to be able to read a defense, if you're a QB, you read the defense, you know what's coming. You see a blitz, dump it right over the middle to your tight end, draw play, let them run right by. I don't believe in these analytics. They use them, but for what? They're good for contracts. They're good for contracts.
Well, and that is spoken like a true sports lawyer. But let's just keep it real. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is playing his best ball these days. He's playing his best ball.
He's probably going to be the MVP.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. When you listen to the NBC commentators, Chris Collinsworth and Al, what's Al's last name?
Michaels.
Yeah, Al Michaels. I mean, they seem to think that Aaron Rodgers has it tied down just like Lamar had it sealed last year.
Well, they were talking about Mahomes early on, but as I said, the Chiefs have really been struggling the past few games. They've won, but, he hasn't been dominant like Rodgers has.
You think they can come? Do you think they can win by coming from behind with Buffalo? What do you think, Greg? Because that's their MO.
I think it all depends on, number one, if Mahomes plays, and number two, what shape is he in? He still have a run because Buffalo's going to beat him.
I agree with him. If Mahomes is playing, depending on his head, mindset, his ability, his reflexes, possible. If not, Buffalo will beat them.
Yeah, Buffalo's on fire. And but look at this graphic in our fourth window here, y'all. Just take a look at this graphic. Offensive Player of the Year, Pro Football Writers of America. Henry. Appropriate? You said what?
He's a freak of nature. I mean, think about it. 6'4", 240 something, around the 4'9". That's a freak of nature. But he's from Alabama. What if he do that?
Yeah, we have a clip. I don't know. I don't think we're prepared to play it tonight, but we had a clip where they were showing that highlight of him. I think it was in a was it in a playoff game this year or last year? But when somebody came to tackle him, I know it was Norman. It was Norman. What is Norman's name that plays for? Who does Norman play for now? Does he play for New England now?
Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman. Who does he play for now?
I think it's New England.
Okay, and Henry just had him for breakfast, man. He came to tackle him. He stiff armed and just threw him on the ground like he was probably like a 12-year-old, 110-pound teenager. Henry is something.
Yeah, he is.
And probably deserved to be the offensive player of the year. Although he didn't do anything in the game against Baltimore.
No, he didn't. But he got he had over 2,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be the linebacker on the other side of him. At least Norman didn't want to be that day.
Gotta do your job.
Okay, so Greg, now I know a lot of these guys just can't run as fast as I can, but we're at that point where we.
As you could, not as you can, as you could.
Greg, I still got it, man. I still got it. I don't know if I still I still got it. But listen, it's about that time that we should probably squeeze some picks out of y'all. But before we do that, Josh Allen.
Yes.
Is he the real deal?
Yes.
You think he's the real deal, Greg?
That's the Bills quarterback, right?
Yes. Apparently you don't, because you just said that's the Bills quarterback.
Well, I haven't seen that much of it, I haven't seen that much of it.
Not even
Don't bring it back yet. What'd you say, John?
I said Greg hasn't seen him even the past 2 weeks playing?
No, I haven't watched Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's not that exciting to watch, John, at all. I mean, they're not that exciting to watch.
Carl, you got to look at them this year. They could be going to the Super Bowl, and then what?
Listen, I would say this. I would say that I think they have an opportunity to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, because in order for Kansas City to win, Kansas City has to get ahead. And when they get ahead with that excitement, they stay ahead. I'm a little concerned that Kansas City will not come back as the chipper on a Buffalo team.
Okay.
I can see that.
Can you see that, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It all depends on Mahomes, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. John, can you see that? Can you see the Chiefs coming back on the Bills?
If Mahomes is not 100%, no. Absolutely not.
What if Mahomes is 100%? Can they come back? Let's say the Bills get out to a 17-3 lead like they did on Baltimore. Can they come back?
A lot of variables there, Carl. A lot of variables.
Price, my take on that is, if Mahomes is 100%, the Bills don't get up 17-3.
Exactly. I don't think Holmes is going to be 100%. I don't think that he should play. I know it's about money, and I know the networks want him to play, but he's just not. I wouldn't want to see him out there. And if he hit again and has another concussion, then what?
No, keep it up. Andy Reid is the only head coach to host back-to-back championship games.
And your point is?
You would say it like that, right, John? My point is that I think there's something. If I were a QAnon person, I would say that the numbers favor the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. The conspiracies favor Kansas City Chiefs.
But to win the Super Bowl.
Oh no, to win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
You talking about with Mahomes 100%, right?
With Mahomes, I would say with Mahomes about 80%.
No, I don't think they get past Buffalo if he's 80%.
Tammy Cole says she agrees that he should sit it out. The Kansas City quarterback is so hungry, no way possible they can lose. What do y'all think?
She went to KSU.
She did go to KSU.
I remember her.
Is that what that's about?
John, don't feel ousted, man.
Hey,
I'm the only talent up here that doesn't have an Esquire badge, man.
That's okay. You got just as much knowledge as we do on sports, especially a lot of sports about me and my performance at Kentucky State University. Anytime now, you can talk to them about how fast I was and how I used to beat the baseball players and run it.
You got to remember, Bryce, you and I went up there the same year. We stayed in the same dorm. We were both freshmen. And your dorm room was the bathroom on the left before you got to the bathroom. That's how I got to know you. You and Danny Carruthers.
You know how that makes me feel? That makes me feel like Bernie Sanders at the inaugural.
Well, you worked hard to craft. You worked hard to still craft.
I did.
Back in the dorm, man.
I did. I agree. Anyway, so now it's time to get the picks. Let's talk about the picks. John, let's start with you. We got two games. We got the divisional playoffs for the NFC and the divisional playoffs championship game for the AFC. Who's your pick? Let's start with the NFC.
This is what's called the NFL's Final Four. Okay? So, NFC, I'm going with Tom Brady. You want numbers? 28-24.
Okay. AFC?
Again, it really depends on Mahomes. I mean, can I give 2 picks or am I limited to 1?
Well, it's only one game.
Well, if Mahomes plays, it's going to be a different outcome than if he doesn't. So it's actually 2 different games.
Well, let's just pretend that it's only one game.
Okay, I tell you what. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to pick an upset. I'm going to say the Bills win it.
The Super Bowl?
Wait a minute. You just asked for the Final Four. We're just getting to the teams that are going to get to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're going to pick the Bills to go to the Super Bowl and Brady to go to the Super Bowl. So Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. And that will be a bit of history. And with all the history we just saw with the inauguration, that would be something, right? Because Tampa Bay hasn't been in a while. Buffalo hasn't been in man, I think I was still in diapers when Buffalo went.
And Buffalo has never won a Super Bowl, but is the only team to have gone 4 straight years and lose.
Buffalo didn't win with O.J. Simpson? No?
No.
I guess he was too busy chasing those blonde women.
Stop it.
Well, why didn't he win a Super Bowl while he was up there, John?
One man can't beat 11.
I guess you're right. I guess if he had stopped chasing them women, he probably would have. Now, I didn't say he raped any of them. I just said he was chasing them.
I'm leaving that alone.
Okay, let's leave that alone. Anyway, Greg Freeman, give us your picks, buddy.
NFC, Brady is, my heart says Brady. My head says Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay 28-20.
Who are you picking?
Green Bay.
Okay.
AFC, I'm going to pick Buffalo because I don't think Mahomes is 100%. 27-3, Buffalo.
28-7 Buffalo. Okay.
No, 27-23 Buffalo.
27-23 Buffalo. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I am.
Green Bay? What did you say?
Take
for
that.
Green Bay?
Take that. What you call it?
Greg, what did you say for Green Bay?
Green Bay 28, Tampa Bay 20.
Okay.
And I'm pulling for Green Bay. But I don't see it.
Okay, Carl.
Oh wait, hold on. Before you come to me, first I want y'all to look at these numbers. Put that up on the screen for me, Mr. Producer. Just put that up there, not me. I want y'all to take a look at this. I don't know if you can. Okay, listen, take a look at this. AFC Championship. Kemp versus Dawson, Kelly versus Montana, Allen versus Mahomes. Right?
Yep.
My pick for the AFC Championship game is going to be Kansas City. I believe Mahomes and Kansas City are going to do it. I think Mahomes is going to be back, and I think Mahomes and Kansas City is going to get him. I think the Buffalo Bills have spoiled their surprise by beating Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
That's all you're angry about.
No. I never said I was angry. I didn't say I was angry. I just said, listen. Listen. Hey, John. Look at it this way. If you can lose a game, and your charity, your hand-picked charity, then gets donated almost $500,000. Can't be angry. And the charity's right here in Louisville. Backpacks in a. Blessings in the back in a backpack. Blessings in a backpack. Buffalo fans donated more, and actually more than Buffalo fans donated almost $500,000 to his charity. So no, I'm not angry. I'm actually happy. But I would have loved to have seen Baltimore win, and just for Lamar. However, I'm just talking about skill. It's just like I said last week, right? Remember what I said last week? I said I like Baltimore, and that was full disclosure. But I like Baltimore to win the game, but I also liked Baltimore because of Lamar. But in this particular game, in this particular week, I think that the AFC Championship game is Mahomes over Allen. I think Kansas City and Andy Reid has gotten their number, and I think Kansas City is heading back to the Super Bowl. So that is my pick on that one. Now, let me see if there is let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is easy for me. Alvin says the Packers 30, the Bucs 31. Alvin, I disagree. My pick on this one, hands down, is Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is just the man. I really do. I think he is playing his best ball, like a good neighbor. Like a good neighbor, State Farm's gonna be there for him, buddy. No, seriously. I think that the talent level here is equal, but I think Green Bay just has more guns, when I watch Brady and when I watch Aaron Rodgers, Brady gives up more than Aaron Rodgers does. Brady would take a sack quicker than Aaron Rodgers would. Aaron Rodgers, if you let him scramble just for 3 seconds, he's going to find somebody. Y'all agree?
Brady's 43 years old, too.
You said what?
I said Brady's 43 years old. He ain't gonna do too much scrambling,
Yeah, he's gonna take a sack.
Right.
Yeah.
But Carl, when the game is on the line, you got one possession, you got one man to march you down the field. Who do you want? He's done it over and over and over again.
You just said it, John.
6 rings to prove it.
You just said it, John. One man can't do it all.
He's got his weapons.
And if Antonio Brown should dudes have some indiscretion with the woman the night before, then he ain't gonna be no good. You know that, and I know that, right? I mean, Antonio Brown is still volatile.
Are we gonna talk sports here? Or are we gonna talk police?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, but this is all about sports because it's going to impact the game. I mean, if he goes and drops his towel in front of a female trainer or something the night before, he's out.
Price, you remember a while back, you sent me some videos of your action in courtrooms, and we had a laugh about that.
Videos of me in the courtroom?
Yeah, making some statements that kind of went nationwide.
You remember that?
Yeah, you kind of went back. You kind of went back in it up mode just now, Price.
I can what? I can't back it up.
No, I said you kind of went back into that mode.
Oh, into that mode? Yeah. I'm tempted to say anything. No, but I'm just keeping it real though, for real. I mean, I like Antonio Brown. I like seeing him play, but the reality is that, he's not a good judgment type of person. I mean, he didn't do well with his judgment. It's just like the person he beat up right at the gate of his in his gated community. He went down. He left because the guard at the gate wouldn't let somebody in, one of his friends in. And the guard said, we have instructions that anybody that comes here to visit Antonio Brown, we have to call Antonio Brown, and he has to come down and let him in. Well, the guard was just following the rules. He goes down there and threatens the guard, and I thought he kicked his ass, but he got charged. So I'm just saying that, we got to, if they can keep him under wraps and keep him concentrated and focused, then I think they would do, then I think they would be okay. But of course, that's not the only receiver that Tampa Bay has, but that's the only best receiver that Tampa Bay has. And, but I just don't think it's enough. I just don't think it's enough for Aaron Rodgers. Now, on the flip side of that, if the defense for Tampa Bay was, I almost said similar to Baltimore, but shit, they didn't show too much last week. But if the defense was top notch, then I would say, Aaron Rodgers is gonna have some problems. But I think the front line of Green Bay is just gonna protect Aaron Rodgers, and I think he's gonna do whatever he wants to do. I don't think the game is gonna be as close as everybody thinks.
Give me a score.
Greg will keep it close.
Oh, a score. I'm not good with scores. Just like Greg said, when I said what I said in court that time, I may say anything. So no, I can't. So I can't give you a number, but I think that if I had to give you a number, I would tell you it would probably be 20-9, Green Bay.
You don't think Tom Brady's going to get what? They're not going to score up 9 points?
I think the defensive coordinator is got some stuff for Tom Brady, and I think they're going to probably shut him down. Now, listen, I am the worst predictable person in the world when it comes to these games and these sports and different things like that. And I would tell you, although I did pretty good last week, I mean, the only team that lost was the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody else I picked won. But so I may be wrong this time, but I really do believe that the Super Bowl is going to pan itself out to be Green Bay and Kansas City. Just my 2 cents.
You could very well be right. You could be right.
Yeah, and Donald Trump could still be president, right?
No. That wasn't going to happen.
What happened, y'all? What happened? The QAnon people, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I let you guys go. The QAnon people said that he was supposed to be president.
Listen.
Yeah, and?
We've been through, we're in a pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we were in a pandemic.
Take my screen off.
Before the coronavirus came, the last 4 years in the White House was a pandemic.
He said the last 4 years was a pandemic. Well, Donald Trump is still president. Oh, God. Come on, Dr. Pruitt.
Dr. Pruitt.
Dr. Pruitt, now, you got these two guys on this broadcast, and now you're going to say that he's the president of the republic. You're going to have to explain that to me, because I can tell you that Dr. Pruitt, I love you. Love you dearly. But I was so happy to see Donald Trump go. And it reminded me, and what's that, John?
I said, let me just say this. Now, I'm somewhat a religious person, and I believe God did things with a purpose. This coronavirus came for a reason. If it had not been for the coronavirus, Donald Trump probably would still be president.
Oh, God.
Think about it.
No, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. I'm happy that he's gone. Now, I see the United States was incorporated in 1871. He will be sworn in on March the 4th. And Dr. Pruitt, I read your reasoning as to why he was going to be sworn in on March the 4th. I would tell you the Proud Boys have now considered Donald Trump a fake. I don't know if you've heard that latest report, but the Proud Boys are saying he's a fake, he's a fraud, and he lied to us. So I don't think
anything's... And he's going to jail.
And I think he's going to jail, too. He's going to be impeached because Nancy Pelosi said he is. And, she's got it like that now that they control the House and the Senate and the White House. So
he's been impeached already. He's got to be convicted. You know that, Carl.
No. I said I think he's going to be impeached a second time. Now, whether there's enough Republicans to do it. What's that?
He's already impeached.
No, I understand he's already impeached, but the question is whether he gets convicted in the Senate. Right. I'm hoping that he does, because I hope he's going to be banned for office. Listen, y'all, I know everybody who supports Donald Trump. Look, I'm all there with you, but he really screwed this country up. He screwed it. He royally screwed this country up without any Vaseline. I mean, just period. I know that sounds horrible, but I just had to say it.
God.
He did. This country is not what it used to be, period.
No, I agree.
And John, I don't think we can just say it's the pandemic. Yeah, the pandemic came, but that's why you're president. Because when crises come, you have to be able and qualified and dignified to deal with them. And he wasn't.
That's my point. That's why the virus came. He couldn't handle it, and because 400,000 people died, the other people said,
that's a lot of blood. Man, he's got a lot of blood on his hands.
He does, and he's gone. And let's turn the corner. Yes, and Moscow Mitch needs to be on board with convicting him.
Let me say this, Bryce, about that.
Moscow Mitch, yes.
Let me say this.
The Republic has been restored, though. The Republic has a lawful constitution. It is the Constitution for the United States Republic. Go ahead, Greg.
McConnell, Moscow Mitch, whatever you call them, all these Republicans that in the ninth inning decided to jump back over, it doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, Greg, and I'm glad you brought that up, because my only sympathy for Donald Trump was that when people saw that he was ready to walk out the door, then people like Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, they all picked up their tomatoes and started throwing the tomatoes at him. And I thought that was unfair, because they've been a part of this cahootsa for 4 years. And now all of a sudden, when he's on his way out, when he can't make decisions that impact what you're doing in Washington now, then all of a sudden everybody starts to throw tomatoes at him. And I sympathize with Donald Trump on that particular point. But of course, he was smashed like mashed potatoes when Twitter and Facebook cut him off.
Think about what you just said. We got a president who's pouting because he can't get on Twitter and Facebook. That's where we are in this country.
And acting like a 7-year-old because he lost an election decided by 80 million people. What's scary is that 73 million people still wanted him. That's scary. Which tells you that the problems in this country are still here. And that's what we have to be careful of and work on. Donald Trump just emboldened all these racists to come out, but they were already here. This isn't gone away, And it wasn't started 4 years ago with his foolishness. We have to be mindful. We have to work on those people who have had a little taste of the Kool-Aid, the orange Kool-Aid, and don't like it, but you got to give them a better alternative. And the politics of this nation for the past 40 years, maybe even 50 years, has just been crappy from both sides. And sadly, Donald Trump is what the other people wanted, an alternative to what was here already. And sadly, they followed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that he said the election was stolen, but denied Hillary from saying, I missed the rest of that. From denied Hillary from saying the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Well, you can say that about Bush, who stole it from Gore. Remember, Gore was supposedly the winner in Florida, and then a couple hours later, we made a mistake. Then Bush won Florida, and I wonder if that had anything to do with his brother being the governor at the time. Change those votes.
Well,
so, why are we even keeping Dr. Pruitt's comments up here?
John, don't start. Please don't start. Because Dr. Pruitt, motu proprio, because Dr. Pruitt is one of our, she's one of our, we're going to bring her in one day. Dr. Pruitt, we're going to bring you in. But because she really spits some really, really good knowledge to us. A lot of times, we just don't always agree with what she says. But, I read her posts. I'm entertained by her posts. And I'm really entertained, Dr. Pruitt, by the post that you think something's going to happen on March the 4th. I thought something was going to happen. I thought Donald Trump was going to be sworn in on January the 20th. He wasn't. So why should we wait for the 4th?
No, he's done. I don't even know if he's going to be in the country. He may be in Russia on March 4th.
He may be in Rikers Island.
He may be hiding from the law for sure. Can any of y'all explain where you have suffered in the last 4 years that is a result of Trump? Oh my God, man, where do you want us to start?
We don't have enough time.
Abibi Toomey, where do you want us to start? I just think that, I know, Abibi Toomey, you don't believe in the concept of racism, and you don't believe that I understand what your belief is when you talk about it, but I'm gonna tell you, I just didn't like an idiot being in the White House. I don't think it really is always about how you've suffered, because I can tell you, as a practicing attorney for many, many years, it didn't matter who the president was. I was always good. The law is still going to be the law. People are still going to need lawyers. When I'm doing criminal defense, people are still going to get in trouble. When I do car accident cases, people are going to have car accidents. People are going to get injured, and people are going to mess with other people. So I don't really think that's the question. I think the question is one of dignity and character for the country. And that's why, and I just didn't like the fact that he was an idiot in the White House making idiotic decisions. I will tell you this, I don't think it's always about what has been gained. I think it's a lot sometimes about what has been lost. For example, one of the first things, I don't know if y'all know this, guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but Donald Trump, when I think back in June, he did all this shit, appointing all these crazy people back, almost when he's about to leave office. Back in June, he appointed a man over the labor relations, the labor relations board. Okay, made him general counsel. He's a lawyer. A lot of the politicians, Democrats and Republicans, objected to him. They did not confirm him, so he was set in that seat as acting. Okay, I think he was in that seat as acting. The unions hated him because all he was doing there, he was just screwing members of the union. He was screwing the average Joe Blow and Jane Blow worker. Okay, and one of the other first things that Joe Biden did yesterday when he started signing those executive orders, he fired him. And I say that just for this reason, that sometimes it's not about what you're gaining, it's about what you're losing. And particularly what you're losing on the back end and the little bit that you're losing. Because, quite candidly, I'm not a union worker. I'm self-employed. But I can only imagine working in a factory and having no rights to a fair wage and all of that. And this is what these people were doing behind the scenes. I'm just telling you. So I don't think it's always about what you gain. I think a lot of times it's about what we ultimately lose. This president never encouraged the renewal of the Civil Rights Acts. Never would encourage the abomination of lynching and make it a federal crime. And Mitch McConnell was just as guilty too. But it's just all those little things that make a difference to me as a lawyer. Just saying.
Can't argue with you.
But when the republic is, what'd you say?
Can't argue with you.
But when the republic is restored, you guys will have to be retrained in constitutional law, and work for the people instead of work for the queen. Though the bar, that's what motu proprio was about. Okay, Dr. Pruitt. I'm going to tell you a lot of this stuff that you're saying, you can find it in Adolf Hitler's The Big Lie. I'm just saying. Go back and look at that. I wish everybody who is doubting the media and all of that, look at The Big Lie. Greg.
You got a lot of patience.
Well, I mean, you're on live, just like Earth, Wind, and Fire used to say, let your feelings flow.
I just don't know how to human rights and civil rights.
What'd you say, Greg?
I was just reading Dr. Pruitt's post that said she'd rather have human rights than civil rights.
Well, Dr. Pruitt, I'm going to respond. Let me respond to that because I know John and Greg may say something, but I'm going to tell you when you talk about human rights versus civil rights, because I saw your post, and I'll be following you now, girl. I saw your post about 1776. The 1776 Commission. And I totally disagree with you as to why the 1776 Commission was created. Okay, now maybe I don't have the vision, but the 1776 Commission was created by Donald Trump as a racist attempt to combat the New York Times 1619 Project. Okay, so when we talk about human rights versus civil rights, that sometimes becomes the problem. Right? Yeah. I think we all would rather have human rights and civil rights. That's if we're all treated like we're humans. But as a black male, when I can't get stopped by the police, for a traffic violation without possibly being shot, that's neither human rights or civil rights. Just my 2 cents.
No, you're right.
All right. Anyway, guys, we've given our Super Bowl picks. We've done as my elder pastor, my former pastor used to say, and my pastor emeritus, as he says at the end of a prayer. And when we've done all when we've done all we can do, then it's in your hands. So I say that just to say that I think we're at the end of what about this message he gave to the mob and said he loves them? Yeah, Alvin, you want to start a war on this show, don't you?
He's right, though. He's absolutely right.
You think he instigated it all, John?
Listen to his speech, Carl. He said we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're not going to let them certify the electoral votes.
Yeah, but
he said it.
Okay, but they walk down, and yeah, right. But literally, if you take that literally, you're walking down to the Capitol, and I don't think he ever said go inside there and force your way in. He never said that. I know he implied that. What'd you say, Greg?
How else would you stop the electoral? How else would you stop the certification process?
One thing, I mean, I don't think there's any other way you could stop it, but forcibly place yourself inside there. But I don't think he ever said that. I think he clearly implied it, but I don't think he said it. I think he should be convicted. I think he should be convicted of. I think he should be. I think in his impeachment he should be convicted during the impeachment trial for all of that stuff, because all that stuff is just unbecoming of a president. We got to keep some type of class into the classiest house in the world, even though it's called the White House.
It was an embarrassment to go around the world and say you were from the United States, because people would look at you and say, what are y'all doing there? You got a clown in the White House, the place where, as you said earlier, Carl, it was an office and a position of distinction, of respect, of being the most powerful person on the planet. He was a clown. I mean, he was a bozo.
I often wonder, y'all gonna think that I'm a little weird when I say this, but I'm gonna say it because this is the show, and Greg has already said he was a hero. People in other countries love Donald Trump. Yeah. Okay, Doc. Doc, you're pushing the envelope, Doc. Yeah. I'm gonna let you respond to that, John.
Kool-Aid. She has way too much orange Kool-Aid. She just,
You call it orange Kool-Aid, John?
Yeah.
Orange Kool-Aid. What is Ronell Brown's comment there?
He said people died and the mob killed. Yeah, people died in that race to the Capitol.
Right. He said they had to go and encourage those who are helping us. We won't help the ones that's against us. We won't help them. Yeah. Okay. I still don't think he said go into the Capitol and take Nancy Pelosi's podium and take her laptop. I still don't think he said that. I think he highly implied it, but I don't think he said that. But I think he should be convicted. So.
Well, Carl, I'm just going to say this. The entire government was in that building, except for Donald Trump. The entire government. You had the vice president, who they wanted to hang, and they were shouting it, let's hang Mike Pence. You had every senator, and you had every representative, which is the government. And that mob was going in there to overturn or try to overturn the election so Donald Trump could still be in power. It's not about being president. He's just drunk with the power that comes with the position. He could give two shits about being president. It's flying on his own plane, Air Force One, and it's not being caught in traffic, and everybody saying, Mr. President, sir, and having the protection around him, and the respect that comes with the office. Not respect to him, but with the office. He doesn't care about being the president of the United States.
Show that picture. Here he is, the last picture that we would ever see of Donald Trump, showing by itself. We just show. Dr. Pruitt, this one's for you. I know you think that he is the man of all mans, but we just want you to see and marinate on this picture. This is the one that is leaving us. And we're happy he is. See you guys on March 4th. We will celebrate. Okay. And that's a good graphic to be up there. Okay, you can take us back. But anyway, I think that the interesting thing about all of this is that he's gone. Kind of like oh no, you know what? Here's what I was going to do earlier, and it slipped my mind. I don't know. Sometimes I think that there's two of me. You know how I'm a Gemini, so there's sometimes I think there's two of me, and one thinks one thing another thing. But I kind of thought that at some point I was smoking weed or something. I just keep forgetting. Maybe that's the other part of me. But listen. But let me say this. Let me say this. One of the songs that when I saw him and Melania get in that, I saw him and the porn star get into the helicopter. One of the things that the first song that came to my mind. And somebody put the lyrics across on a social media post. And I wish I had the music to it because my voice is going to sound horrible. But y'all remember this because y'all are old enough to remember it. It says, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Those good white boys been drinking whiskey and rye, saying this will be the day that Trump dies. This will be the day that Trump dies. Anyway, that's what
Don McLean, American Pie.
Anyway, y'all, we got to get out of here. We are way over our time. Listen, Greg and John, I appreciate it. We're going to check out the Super Bowl picks next week. See how they're paying out. We got one more. I think there's still a separation before the Super Bowl, right? After this year, after this week, after these divisional games. Is that right?
This is the conference championship. Yes, 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. So we got to bring you guys back the week after that to talk about the Super Bowl because we've got your Super Bowl picks. Again, I think it's going to be Green Bay and Kansas City. I'm not going to bet on it because there's too much talent in these last 4 teams, but should be interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm plugged up there. Okay. Can you go plug me up? I'm still here, y'all. I just my camera just went down. We're just gonna put whatchamacallit there just for a second.
With us? Come on, you could have put up the Bernie graphic. Why?
Last time to talk bad about him. This is the last time. That's why I gave y'all the whatchamacallit with it's coming from the camera, the plug. That's why I gave y'all the picture by itself of Donald Trump.
No, I have nothing else to say. He left New York because we don't want him here.
Price, is Eddyville still open?
Eddyville is still open.
Is it?
Eddyville is still, you mean the penitentiary here in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yes, Eddyville is still open.
That's federal?
No, it is state, but we'll take him here. There's an X in the box.
Take him to Kansas, where Leavenworth is.
You said what?
Take him to Kansas. Isn't that where Leavenworth is?
Yeah. I'd rather have him close to Kentucky so we can just ride by and just say, and sing that song, Bye Bye, Mr. American Fool.
Well, that would be good because then Dr. Pruitt could go visit him easily.
Great show, guys. You all were kind, even though we have different points of view. Thank you. You're welcome, Dr. Pruitt. Well, I think I think we're nice guys. I think we kind of contain ourselves. We're real men. Real men. Anyway, John Graves, Greg Freeman, John C. Graves, Esquire. Actually, the producer got it right, John. John C. Graves, Esquire. Greg Freeman, the baseball extraordinaire from Kentucky State University. Greg, did you notice down there that Kentucky State was not in that ticker on the bottom of this show? Yeah,
I looked at that.
The top 10 HBCUs. I got issues with that.
Well, Tennessee State's in there.
Yeah, I saw Tennessee State. I saw Morgan State. I'm going to go back and figure out who put that in. Maybe we just fire the producer here for putting that in. Anyway, y'all, listen, we got to get out of here. We got to get ready for, let's see, the end credits, which is camera number 13. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me tonight, Greg and John. And let's do this again, but definitely after the Super Bowl. Let's come and talk about this thing one more time. But I swear we won't be talking about Donald Trump unless he's in jail.
Thanks for having me, Price. You guys stay safe.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Thanks, Carl.
All right. Thank you. Hold on before you do that. Okay. All right. Listen, y'all. This has been Conscious Fever. I'm Carl Price. Ice Entertainment Television, Conscious Fever Radio. This thing is still a work in progress here, but we look good. at least we look good. The show went a little bit long tonight. It's going to take a little while to download. So here we go. But anyway, this has been Conscious Fever. I'm Carl Price, your host here on Conscious Fever Radio, Ice Entertainment Television. I'm going to let next week. Peace and love.
You are listening to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Price on 97thebeatfm.com.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh yes it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he wind up knocking me back down on the knees. There've been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able, Father, to carry on. And it's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it is, yes it is, yes it is. Said I know that a change is gonna come one day. I know a change gonna come.